And don't forget, you can watch us. We are on SuperTalk TV on your computer or your mobile device. And if you're over there, you'll see I've got a lot of friends in the studio today. That always makes me happy on a Friday, not to be alone. But they're here for a good reason as we kick off the 2024 Prom campaign, which is a partnership between the Mississippi Highway Patrol, the Mississippi Department of Rehabilitation Services, and MDOT. So we've got Chase Elkins with the Department Mississippi Highway Patrol. We've got Jennifer Graves with Mississippi Department of Rehab Services, and we got Mike Flood with MDOT. So welcome everybody. And Jennifer brought the rain. So
yes, I did.
We're going to blame Jennifer for that. But we're also going to let Jennifer kick us off about the campaign, because the Prom campaign has been around for a hot second, and you guys kind of were the masterminds behind it.
So roughly 7 years ago, I wasn't with the department yet, but they were noticing that a lot of car crashes that happen around prom season, especially. A lot of times if someone's injured, they incur a traumatic brain injury or spinal cord injury, and those are clients that we serve. And so one way we wanted to alleviate that was a prevention campaign, and so does Mississippi Highway Patrol. So our people met with their people, and this beautiful partnership began.
And it's cool too, because yes, it's during prom season, but you guys have come up with a great little acronym for prom. What does it stand for?
Please return on Monday in the same condition that you left.
Because even if the whole thing is, yes, you don't want them having wrecks, Chase, of any kind, or any kind of, I guess, traffic mishap, but you don't want the worst of the kind, which is if you have a traumatic brain injury or you just lose a life or any of that. So as a parent, it's just like every time y'all come, Jennifer, I get closer and closer to prom season. I got a sixth grader, so I have a few more years, but not many left until this is something that I really do have to sweat. But Chase, with the Mississippi Highway Patrol, do you guys just, every time this season comes around, do you just hold your breath?
The whole year is bad for us with teens driving, whether it be prom or homecoming or the summer and they're out. But prom does specifically put an emphasis with the teens on the road, and they feel as though they have more freedom. They have a free weekend in their mind. So it's definitely is a heightened sense of awareness for us with the things that are going on in our communities.
So what are some things? Mine is just not letting them go, because I am pro that. I'm totally kidding. What are some things that can be done, Chase, to sort of help reduce the likelihood that they may be in a motor vehicle accident or just, any other kind of mishap on prom night?
The crazy thing is it doesn't start with the teens. It starts with the parents. And so if we really want to make an impact, then we, the adults, the responsible ones, the ones that are teaching them how to drive and the characteristics behind the wheel, we have to make the change first. And oftentimes the kids are mimicking what they see their parents do. So while the parent is speeding and not buckling up and texting and driving, when it's time for the child to get their license, they tell them not to do all the things that they've watched their mom and dad do for so long. And it goes in one ear and out the other. So the message isn't sticking.
So, and that's what we want. This is a conversation. There may be teens, probably not listening to good things, but if they are, we're talking directly to you. But really, we're talking to parents and grandparents who are going to be having those conversations with their teens as we sort of approach prom season this year, and really just driving sort of in generally. I think this is just a great opportunity to have heightened awareness around conversations we should be having all the time. So what's new to the table this year, Jennifer, is we've got MDOT. So, Mike, I'm sure, this makes perfect sense. You're like, the musketeer that was missing in terms of getting this message out. So what is you guys' part into Prom campaign this year?
Yeah, we appreciate Jennifer bringing us on board to get involved here. We've got our highway interstate signs across the state, and we utilize these every day with a new message, and we're trying to have fun with it, but the goal is ultimately promoting safe driving, and we want everyone to get where they're going safely. So this seemed like a natural fit for us, and yesterday we ran some signs that said, say yes to prom, say no to alcohol, please return on Monday. Jennifer and her team, credit to them for coming up with these and sending these to us, and we're going to try and get some more out there, over the prom season. So be on the lookout, and anything we can do to support safe driving, we want to be involved with.
You have a fun job. That was fun brainstorming.
Fun job. Yes.
So did you come up with those yourself, Mike?
Jennifer gets credit for that. She sent me a lot of several options to choose from. So we've used all of our funny ideas over the last few years, and I feel like we're running out of funny ideas and good ideas. So anytime the public has good ones, our partners have good ones, please send them to us, and we'll use them.
Well, anytime you need to poll our Good Things listeners, we're here for you, Mike, because one of our good listeners, Jeff in Pontotoc, he actually won one of the ones for
Safety
Christmas.
contest. Yeah. 12 days of Christmas. Okay.
12 days of Christmas or whatever.
This is the best year we've had with submissions. We got the most we've ever received, and they were by far the funniest. So yeah, we appreciate everyone getting involved there.
And, when people enjoy them, and it brings, and it does bring a little bit of joy when you're driving on the interstate to look and read, and obviously you look and then you hopefully go back to what you were doing. It may not work for everybody, but it's working for somebody. Again, it's having that conversation. It's just another touch point to sort of bring that a little bit of awareness. Chase, when you have parents listening, you have parents and grandparents listening, and they think, oh, it's prom. Kids are going to be kids. There may be one wreck. There may be, and one wreck is too many. I understand that. But what is kind of the, I guess, statistic, or maybe how many teens are involved in preventable accidents, at least in Mississippi, or help us understand that this really is kind of something we need to address?
Yeah, the vast majority of your crashes are preventable. Whether it be distracted driving, driving under the influence, not wearing your seatbelt, that causes an increase in injuries during the crash. Speed, any of those things are preventable things. Following too close, and again, all of those crashes take place in that. And so last year in 2023, statewide, Mississippi Highway Patrol investigated a little over 14,000 crashes. That was across interstates, highways. And so in those 14,000 crashes, there was roughly 282 fatal crashes in that 14,000. Statistically, the vast majority of those are preventable.
Right.
If we'll not hear the message, but if we'll take heed to the message and start utilizing these key points and taking them as being, the real deal. Because 282 families are suffering this year.
Right.
That didn't have to be.
Someone on the text line said it's phones. That's the big elephant in the room. And it is. And it feels like you're drinking from a water hose when you're trying to. I'm sure it does for you guys with the Highway Patrol, because it just seems like no matter how much you bring up awareness, it feels like it doesn't get any better. But then hopefully you can't stop talking about it, though, right? Mike?
Correct. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't stop. Everywhere you go, there's phones. From 18-wheeler drivers to the teen driver driving at the very beginning. Not only is everybody using, everybody's seeing and complaining about it. Mm-hmm. Even the ones that are complaining about it typically are going to find themselves using their phone while they're behind the wheel of a vehicle. And so I know that it's convenient, but so is getting to your destination. And that's the primary goal of what our responsibility is behind the wheel.
One of the things you sent, Jennifer, that I read that I thought as a parent was just a really good piece of advice is parents talking to their kids about what's their plan. Like, what's your plan? Like, who are you riding with? What time are you planning to leave? Who's going to pick you up if you can't? Like, just kind of like you have your tornado drills, you have your fire drills, you have like all of these sort of plans, because more than likely your kids really hadn't thought that through. And maybe you hadn't thought that through. They're just going to prom, they'll come home, but then specifically asking them, well, if this happens, who's going to pick you up? Or if this happens, I'll come get you. Or if this, and just sort of like giving them the out, like, and putting that in their head. Hopefully a kid could say, well, you know what mom said, if this happens, I'm just going to text her. Or this. Don't just assume that they can text you. Be bold and say, hey, you can text me, you can call me, and and open that door of communication.
100%. I mean, back when I was driving and going to prom, we didn't have smartphones. We didn't have Uber. Now we have all that, thankfully. So, make a plan. Text somebody. We have a client that speaks that she got a text message and looked down for 4 seconds and hit a tree. She did not respond. So it's just just letting them know, like, a text can wait. Use an Uber, call mom. It's just having that conversation.
Or if you can't call mom, know the aunt or the friend or whoever. I've got a good friend. I've always already told my kids, if you get put in jail, call her first, and then she'll calm me down, and then I'll come get you. But that way you have a good adult that you can sort of turn to if you absolutely need it. And these are hard conversations, because we will also want to think that our kids are invincible, but they're not, and it can happen. And they may not even be the one that's driving, Chase, so that's the scary part too.
Right.
So where can parents go for more information, Jennifer?
They can go to our mdrs.ms.gov website, and we have a prom tab.
And Mike, is that the only things that will be up, or can we look for some more?
You can look for some more. Stay tuned for some more, and follow us on social media as well. If we post any others that go up, we'll share them on our at Mississippi DOT social pages as well.
Well, I appreciate all that the Highway Patrol does, but hope I never see you at work, Chase, other than for these fun things. But you guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.